was on the open market, easy. I take it your father was a fan of spy films. And how? You should see his library. Conspiracy theories, the whole 9 yards. It was like an obsession. How much do you want for these? I poked around on the web. It's €100 a reel, give or take. Mainly, I want to clear all this out as quickly as possible, because I need the space, so the price is negotiable. I certainly hope so. Ludovic kept rummaging. Your father must have had a private screening room? Yeah, we're about to redo it, getting rid of the old stuff and putting in all new equipment, LCD screen and the latest home system. Here's where I'm going to set up a practice space for my band. Disgusted by such a lack of respect, Ludovic turned to his right, rearranged some piles of films, immersed himself in the celluloid aroma. He discovered features by Harold Lloyd, Buster Keaton, then, farther on, classics like Hamlet and Captain Fracasse. He wished he could take them all, but his functionary's salary at Social Security and his various monthly subscriptions, online dating, internet, cable, satellite, didn't leave him much wiggle room, so he'd have to make choices. He walked down the sliding ladder. Luc Spielmann cautioned him. Careful on that. That's where my father fell and fractured his skull. I mean, really, climbing up there at 82. Ludovic paused an instant, then rushed forward. He thought of the old man, so passionate about his films that he died for them. He climbed as high as he could and continued shopping. Behind the Kremlin letter, on a hidden shelf, he discovered a black canister with no label. Balancing on the ladder, Ludovic picked it up. Inside was what looked like a short, since the film took up only part of the reel. 10 or 20 minutes projection time tops. Probably a lost film, a unique specimen that the owner had never managed to identify. Ludovic grabbed it up, climbed down, and added it to the stack of 9 cult films he'd already chosen. Anonymous reels like this always added spice to the screenings. He turned around, playing it cool, but his pulse was pounding. I'm afraid most of your movies aren't worth a whole lot, pretty standard stuff, and besides, can you smell that odor? What odor? Vinegar. The films have been affected by vinegar syndrome. They'll be worthless before long. The young man leaned forward and sniffed. You sure about that? Absolutely. I'm willing to take these 10 off your hands. Shall we say €35 apiece? 50. 40. All right. Ludovic wrote out a check for €400. As he was pulling away from the curb, he noticed a car with French plates looking for a parking spot. No doubt another collector. All ready. Ludovic emerged from his home projection booth and sat down, alone with a can of beer, in one of the 1250s-style leatherette seats that he'd scavenged when they closed the Rex, his own private movie theatre. He'd created an authentic auditorium for himself in the basement of his house, which he called his mini-cinema. Fold-up seats, stage, pearlescent screen, RTA tri-film projector, he had it all. At the age of 42, the only thing he was missing was a partner, someone to squeeze close while watching Gone with the Wind in the original English. But for the moment, those lousy dating sites had yielded only one-night stands or washouts. It was nearly 3 a.m. Saturated with images of war and espionage, he decided to round out his marathon screening with the unidentified and incredibly well-preserved short feature. It must have been a copy. These unlabeled films sometimes turned out to be veritable treasures, or, if the gods were really smiling, lost works by famous filmmakers like Méliès, Wells, or Chaplin. The collector in him loved to fantasize about such things. When Ludovic unspooled the leader to wind the film into the projector, he saw that the strip was marked 50 frames per second. That was unusual. Normally it was 24 per second, more than sufficient to give the illusion of movement. Still, he adjusted the shutter speed to the recommended setting. No point watching it in slow motion. Within seconds, the whiteness of the screen yielded to a dark, clouded image with no title or credits. A white circle appeared in the upper right corner.